In Total Recall, a factory worker begins to suspect that he is a spy after visiting Recall, a company that provides its clients with implanted fake memories of a life they would like to have lived. But when the procedure goes wrong, he finds himself on the run.
Remember to have a good time.
Tell us your fantasy. We'll give you the memory.
What is it? What's wrong?
Help, please! It's all a mistake. Nobody.
As far as the 1990 Total Recall goes, I don't remember it at all. I saw it on TV when I was younger in pieces. I really don't have any memory of it enough to compare them. So I pretty much went into the 2012 Total Recall blind, and I had no idea what to expect in terms of story or anything like that. I just knew the basic concept. And I had seen the trailers, and honestly, from the trailers, I thought it looked like a pretty generic movie. But I have to say that there are cool aspects to it, and the first third is actually really cool, but overall, I think it's a forgettable and, yeah, relatively standard sci-fi movie. Plot-wise, like I said, I had fun with it for a little while, but eventually it got to be a little silly in the sense that it seemed like a lot of scenes were just there to have an action scene rather than to really further the story. And I guess that's the type of movie it is, but, you know, you can only do that for so long, and I did think that it was interesting before all that stuff really happened for the first, you know, like I said, the third or so, but once it just fell into, you know, chase, oh, we lost him, get him, chase, it just got a little repetitive and actually a little bit boring. And that leads into the directing. Like I said, once again, first third, always gonna keep coming back to this. First third was interesting, done well. I thought there was some cool visuals, some cool ideas, like the phone in the hand, and that's really cool, for real. I actually tried it in the theater. I would love this phone. Putting it on the glass and having the, you know, stuff show up, that's all really cool, I think, and I thought it was interesting. There were some other car things I thought were cool where, well, if you can call it a car, where like the steering wheel thing went from one side to the other. I thought that stuff was interesting, and I was having fun with that, and I actually was kind of invested in the story for a little while, but then everything just started to blur together, and it all just kind of looked the same, and it just, yeah, it got boring. Visually, it got boring. Like I said, story-wise, it got a little boring, and it kind of stinks, because I actually at first was like, wow, am I being, like, pleasantly surprised by Total Recall? And for a little while, yes, but then no. I will say that there is one scene, and, you know, this would be story and directing combined into an awesome scene, in which you don't know if it's, and I mean, this is kind of the whole movie, but there is one specific scene where he is literally being told, you are in a false reality, and then someone else is like, no, you're not, it's real, and it goes back and forth, and I loved that scene. It was literally just dialogue driven, and that was my favorite scene. No big effects, it was just a couple of characters talking to each other, and I thought it was really well done, and I really had no idea what was going on, and then it just goes into the usual stuff. So it's unfortunate, but it had me for a little while. I also liked the visuals for the most part. I thought it had some really good effects, but I gotta say, the lens flares were way over the top. There were actually lens flares in scenes that had no light for the flare to come off of. There was actually a part, I remember vividly, the shot, it was just a person, no light that the flare's coming off of, and then just two flares across the middle of the screen. It was a bit much. And acting-wise, I thought Colin Farrell did actually a really good job. I thought he was great. He worked really well as like the sci-fi action hero type of guy. And I thought Jessica Biel was fine. Bryan Cranston is always great. But I gotta say, Kate Beckinsale was a little ridiculous for a lot of it, because she's just like, she puts her head down and like looks at you like this and makes you know like, oh, I'm angry or I'm mean. It was goofy. I couldn't really take it seriously. Not that you're supposed to take this movie very seriously, but I'll say that in a movie that has a girl with 3 boobs that flashes you just because, Kate Beckinsale was actually kind of sillier. Now, don't get me wrong. She had some awesome fight scenes. Specifically, there's a part where she like slides across the floor and chokes out Colin Farrell with her bottom half, and it's awesome. That I thought was really cool. I thought there was some cool action scenes and fight scenes and stuff, but overall, unfortunately, I was let down, but not because I had really not any expectation going in, so I guess I wasn't let down. It just was nothing special to me. It is forgettable. That's the best way I can put it. It was forgettable. So let me know in the comments what you thought of Total Recall. Have you seen the 1990 version? How did this compare? I know that this is not like a remake specifically so much as just a new version of the short story. I get that. But let me know what you thought, you know, in comparison, I guess, if you can compare them. Let me know if you thought it was bad or if you thought it was good, if you were perfectly happy with spending your hard-earned Obama dollars on it. Let me know anything that you want about Total Recall, and that's pretty much it.
Hold on.